Welcome to another edition of the Best You discussion. I like doing these things. I have all this paperwork with notes, and if I can just do one little thing, provide one little piece of information that helps you in your life and achieve your goals, then it's worth it. So pay attention. We have 7 or 8 sheets of information here, so let's get to it. The music is provided by our friend Amy Hendrickson. We believe in friends helping friends, so please visit amyhendricksonmusic.com, download some of her music, and tell others about her. Before we get to our topic tonight, we cover some things. We would like you to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, visit our website at bestyouguru.com, sign up to receive our email blogs, and if you wish to help us, send donations to Venmo at Robin-Shivery, or you can use PayPal at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Now, our topic tonight is economic shifts. There are major and cultural shifts taking place. New economic models are emerging, and political divides are widening. Autocrats, cryptocurrency, and inequality have become the catalyst of these economic shifts. Our focus, tonight's focus, is on America, but the changes are taking place globally. China, for example, has shifted from a countryside to urban and has become an economic powerhouse. China's power is due to America's short-term thinking with quarterly profits as the primary focus. And the reason China may be winning this economic race is because they have 25 and 100-year business plans. We can't get American businesses to think yearly, much less in 100 years. In America, economic inequality is structural. The majority have been convinced it is called capitalism, but it is not. That deception has kept the masses working hard for decades now. America is living in a neoliberal economic system. It is not capitalism. The Citizens United case, the Citizens versus FEC ruling by the Supreme Court, made it official. Capitalism is dead in America, and a new era has been sanctified. Our society and our economy has changed. On a macro level, there is not much an individual can do except be aware and become united. The problem with that is America has been splintered to a perilous degree. Our focus is on you and how you adapt at the micro level. You see, genetically, you've been built for change. Positive change must be built upon your authentic foundation. You, each of us, has the ability to adapt to almost anything. Too many people live society's version of themselves. They suffer because their self-image, their efficacy, is built upon an illusion that likely runs counter to your DNA, counter to your greatness, and not built upon a solid foundation. Change really is an opportunity to reinvent. Change allows us the opportunity to make a firmer bond with our authentic selves. It is good for all of us to reinvent and connect with a stronger bond to our authentic identity. You see, dealing with change is difficult, but it should never be done without a plan. And to develop a plan, you must understand what has happened, how you got where you're at, and really what you wish to achieve. Economic structures have changed, and we either adapt or fall victim. The previous generation had a three-legged retirement monetary stool upon which to rely on. They had savings, a pension, and Social Security. Capitalism was clearly a factor in their American economy. A greater number of workers gained their justified share for the contributions they made to the American economic prosperity, savings, pension, and Social Security. But in our current environment, savings accounts paid little to zero in interest, and thus one leg has been removed from the three-legged stool, making economic security less stable. Pension plans. See, American Express established the first corporate pension plan in the United States in 1875. And by the 1960s, over half the population participated in a pension plan. Beginning in the 1980s, that all changed. 401ks began taking over as a retirement plan for Americans. And you ask why? Because you see, and to do well in a 401k, you must understand the market. Otherwise, Vegas presents better odds. The average American cannot balance a checkbook, let alone understand market risk. The 401k plan for retirement was designed purposefully to take money away from the worker and place it in the hands of Wall Street, taking from the poor and the middle class and giving it to the rich. And the plan worked. Most Americans never knew, and we still don't know what hit us. It's kind of like that boiled frog theory. You place the frog in a pan of water, and the frog is happy. Place the pan on a low fire, and the frog still remains happy. And you gradually turn up the flame, and the water slowly becomes hotter. Soon, you have a boiled frog. The frog remains the frog, and it remains in the water, but it is dead. And so is the retirement plans for the majority of Americans. Little to no retirement income, thus the second leg of the stool is removed. Now the retirement for most Americans is balanced on one leg, and it's unstable. Most of us have to have a balancing act now just to survive. So the third leg, Social Security. Social Security was meant to be a supplemental income safety net, and it has worked well for millions of Americans. Social Security is designed to help in the retirement years, but politicians today are attempting to remove Social Security for retirees and replace it with something determined and controlled by Wall Street. Remember how they seduced us into replacing the pension plans with 401ks? Wall Street is always lobbying and looking for more money to gamble, particularly your money. Talk of Social Security going broke is propaganda. It's designed to convince Americans they need to hand over more of their money, their Social Security, their retirement, to Wall Street. Wall Street. What could go wrong? We are supposed to ignore what happened in 2008. And never mind what happened in 1929. Just forget the track record of Wall Street, and all is well. But the truth is, Social Security is not going broke. There is no way it can go broke unless they rewrite the laws. I could do an entire discussion about the lies we've been told to get our money. But here's one: Social Security is not going broke. It can never, ever go broke. And here's why. We issue the currency. There is significance in being the currency issuer. It is impossible for Social Security to go broke unless the laws are changed and or we stop being a currency issuer. So here's where we are. Savings accounts are useless as a wealth contributor. 401k prosperity is at the whim of Wall Street. And the threat against the people's, our control of Social Security funds is in doubt. That is our current economic environment. Now let me provide you with a little more information about the environment that you and I find ourselves. Despite decades of technological innovation and economic growth, the typical family's net worth is no higher than it was in the 1980s. You see, economics is more than a number. It tells a story of a culture, of empathy, of passions, and priorities. It tells the story of a people. The current story told of America is that we love to enrich the rich. We work hard so that the financial elite can tell us how we're getting ripped off by the poorest among us, by the immigrants, and a host of other ridiculous excuses. But let me tell you something. Logic tells us that the poor, the immigrants, the unable to work, they lack the power to rip us off. Think about it. How in the world can a people with very little power and no economic status really rip you off? We are being told that China is stealing our jobs. The truth is, America gave jobs to China to enrich the rich. But still, we are told we must protect ourselves against foreigners. Protectionism is being touted as the answer to many of our problems, but that is a lie. But a damn good political soundbite. It allows us to feel good, like it's someone else's fault. It hides the truth from the public. Protectionism is, and always has been, risky, and it has never produced the results as advertised. Free trade is not free trade when it is controlled by the few. You see, free trade can only be free trade if people, the free people, can freely participate. And as it stands, international agreements have strengthened the rights of large corporations and displaced workers while taking advantage of the impoverished. That doesn't sound like free trade to me. Capitalism was never designed to take advantage of the poor. Adam Smith never designed capitalism to impoverish anyone. In fact, Adam Smith designed capitalism with a much different intent. Protectionism is a false narrative, and it runs counter to American capitalism. We are where we are because of what we chose and continue choose to believe. But let me read you a quote. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. That's FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in 1937. You can just look at the past several decades since the disappearance of the 401, the disappearance of the pension plans replaced by the 401ks. Look at the economic inequality in our country and tell me who has prospered. The greatest wealth have gone to those who have the greatest wealth. By design, capitalism, American capitalism, as designed by Adam Smith, provides opportunity for all to share in the products of their efforts. With opportunity found in capitalism, there also comes a ceiling. And here's where I'm asking you to help yourself. That opportunity ceiling translates into an income ceiling. You see, in American capitalism, your skill level must match the opportunity level in order to reap the potential rewards. Your freedom, your liberty, your position in capitalism depends on your skill level. And that does not mean just your skills at your job. It's your skill in voting. It's your skill in purchasing products. It's your skill in earning income. If the opportunity is great, but your skill is less, you will lose ground in your quest for freedom, for economic empowerment. You will lose ground. If you have the skill to vote and you don't use it, you lose ground. If you have an opportunity to become more educated and you don't use it, you lose ground. If you have an opportunity to improve your economic status because of your skill level improvement and you don't use it, you lose economic ground. You see, protectionism, which we're taught to protect ourselves against the immigrants, the foreigners, those who are not like us. If you use protectionism, that only limits your opportunities. Do not limit yourself. Do not limit your skills. You do not become stronger by eliminating your opponents. You become stronger by strengthening your skills. True strength, those who are truly strong, it is not found in by eliminating the opponents, by helping make your opponents stronger and then still defeating them. You become stronger by defeating stronger opponents, not by defeating the weak ones. So I ask you to protect yourself by doing these things, because we're taught to protect, so do these. 1, realizing the false narratives surrounding you. False narratives are an effort to control you. Now here's the truth. People will lie to you. They will lie to you to control you. So I ask you, the first thing I ask you is to develop an ear to hear the truth and remove the echo chambers. Remove yourself from the echo chambers. But in order to do that, you must develop your ear to hear the truth. As painful as it may be, your current opinions, they may be wrong. And are you strong enough to admit your opinions put you in a place that is wrong for you? Number 2, I ask you to do. Strengthen your skills by helping those around you to become stronger. Allow your opponents to become your friends instead of your enemies. You know, I have learned the best from competing against my friends. I make my friends stronger, and they make me stronger. And that's how you win. If I eliminated all my competition, I would grow weak because there would be no one there to challenge me. So I ask you to continue defeating your opponents, but make them stronger to make you stronger. And the last thing I'll ask you to do is understand the economic environment has changed, and it will continue to change. Becoming a telephone operator is no longer an occupation that provides economic prosperity. And there are many who hear this that will never know what a telephone operator used to do because they've been replaced. Economic conditions change, and you must change as well. Economic success, as well as life success, comes from adaptation, strength, and wisdom. Economic shifts are nothing more than opportunities. It is in your DNA. It is within you to grow from these opportunities. I ask you to grow. I ask you to meet the challenge. Send questions and comments to bestyouguru@yahoo.com. We appreciate and depend upon your support, and we ask that you send your donations to Venmo at Robin-Shivery or use PayPal at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Some of our topics have a personal touch. Contact us if you have a personal question. Send your emails to us. bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Namaste.